My name is Nelson Pence. I'm a senior in entrepreneurship. I studied abroad in Sydney, Australia during the fall semester of my sophomore year, so fall 2013. I'd been interested in Australia since I was a really little kid, and when I came to K-State during one of the orientations, they had study abroad, and I saw they had options in Australia, so I just sort of started looking into it pretty immediately. I took 3 business courses. I took accounting, stats, and marketing, and then I took one sort of more fun course, and that was Roman and Greek mythology. Some of my favorite parts were how relaxed everybody was. Like, it was really easy to get to know people in pubs or something like that, just because everybody was really friendly and really easygoing. I know they're kind of known as having a lot of beaches, but that's sort of that beach mentality of just taking things easy really was throughout the whole culture. I think one of my favorite experiences was getting to meet so many international students. When I first got there, I took a surf course and met a lot of international students through that, and they ended up becoming some of my best friends throughout the trip and still to this day. I traveled to Melbourne, Australia, and then I also took a surf trip with some friends up the coast of Australia, where we just got some recommendations on good beaches and stopped along the way at these beaches and just would hang out and surf for the day. I also went over to New Zealand for 3 weeks, and we rented a van and just slept and lived out of this van for 3 weeks while we drove around New Zealand. So that was a really amazing experience. I think the most rewarding was just putting myself out there and also holding an internship while I was abroad. It wasn't easy. A lot of really early mornings, and I did have to miss out on some things, but it was just really rewarding being able to work in a corporate environment overseas and kind of managing that while still getting to do the traveling and working in school and stuff like that. Okay, cool. My advice would be making sure that you really get to know some of the locals. I think it can be easy to meet a lot of international students, but sometimes it can be more difficult to meet and hang out with a lot more locals in the country that you're in. But I hung out with a lot of locals on campus and stuff like that, and that was just a great way to really submerge myself in the environment that I was in and learn a little bit more about the country that I chose to study in. So I would say definitely just hanging out and meeting with locals and just asking them more about their culture and how they see different issues.